What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing yet another beer from the Tree House Brewing Company, and they are out of Charlottetown, Massachusetts, and this is their Vanilla Bean Space and Time. So they are calling this one a Russian Imperial Stout that is infused with vanilla beans. It comes in at 9.9% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just under 3 months old. So this is the final beer from Tree House that I will be reviewing in the near future. I only have 2 beers left in the fridge from them. Both of them are barrel-aged blended beers that I'll be sharing with some friends. I don't know if I'll be reviewing them or not. If I do, probably be a couple months down the line. So this will be the last review you will see from Tree House. Some of you are probably pretty excited. I've, over the past 3 months, have posted a lot of Tree House reviews, and that's because in late August, I went to their Deerfield, Massachusetts brewery and picked up a mixed case of their hazies, and I picked up, I think it was 6 different darker beers from them, which I've only had a couple from them prior to reviewing all these beers, and I'll tell you what, their darker beers are just as good as their hop-forward beers. I mean, I reviewed Fudge, which is Imperial Chocolate Milk Stout. It was delicious. I reviewed their double shot cold brew, which was delicious. And then I did a duo review with a good friend of mine and fellow beer tuber, Kyle, over at No Hype Beer Reviews of their quad shot, the peanut butter and coconut variant. Delicious. They've all been quite tasty. This is the 4th darker offering. Like I said, the other 2 barrel-aged blended Imperial Stouts. I'm probably going to review them, like I said, at some point, but it's going to be with friends and down the line. So this is the last beer that I have in the fridge that I'll be reviewing, and I'm super excited. Did I save the best for last? I don't know. We'll see. Vanilla Bean Space and Time is a double mash extended boil Imperial Stout infused with the character from mountains of vanilla beans. It is pure, rugged, and laced with bold flavor as a function of extraordinary European roasted and crystal malts. And then they have tasting notes, which I won't read. This has been out of the fridge for almost an hour, so we should be good in terms of temperature, I hope anyway. And yeah, can't wait to get into it. Russian Imperial Stout with vanilla beans. Sounds delicious to me, and it's pouring out like motor oil because that's how their beers pour out. It just looks like syrup. It's fantastic. We're not going to go crazy. Not going to go crazy here. Going to cheat a little bit. That's delicious. That's fucking delicious. Even just a little bit like that, it's delicious. I love the label too. The Galaxy looks beautiful. Anyway. Oh, yeah, pitch black. Maybe a little bit of like a ruby red, slight darker brown tinges back, but it's pitch black. Has about a half finger to 3/4 finger of this dark brew. Am I saying Belgian brew? Like brown? No. Dark brown colored head. I can see the alcohol legs. It looks beautiful in the glass. Skin and nose. It smells fucking dynamite. There is so much vanilla on here. The vanilla police would be coming for Kyle. For the aforementioned Kyle, they'd be coming for him because they'd be like, how do you not get vanilla out of that? I don't know. The nose screams vanilla. Oh, man. It's like, I said it in the double shot cold brew, and it was a tasting note from Steven, a viewer of the channel, when we did quad shot on Kyle's channel. It's like vanilla. It's like, he said like coffee ice cream. This is like screaming like French vanilla, or like vanilla bean ice cream mixed in with like a dark chocolate ice cream. It just gives those like ice cream, sweeter tonalities to it. There's underlying very rich roasted malt, almost approaching burnt. Like there's a big roasted quality underneath everything here. Dark fruit, like a plum, cherry, dark cherry. Oh man, it smells delicious. There is a like a bittering aspect that I'm kind of getting in the nose. Like an earthy bitterness. Now I can go back, it's like vanilla bean ice cream with like cherries in it, like dark cherries. It's darker chocolate, so it's more like a 40-50% cacao bar. Like it still has a bitterness to it. It's not like super sweet, decadent chocolate, but I think the vanilla is making it seem a little bit sweeter than it really is. Tree House's darker beers for me have been as good, if not better, than their hop-forward beers of the ones I picked up. I've never had their base Space and Time, which I think is like just their regular Russian Imperial Stout. There's no adjuncts. This smells fucking dynamite. Like I can't sit here and be like, oh, it's just it smells fucking amazing, like it does. So I want to get into it. Cheers, everybody. Everybody. Why can't I? I'm not even. This is the first beer I'm drinking today. Believe it or not, it seems like I'm just hammered right now. But it's totally the first beer I'm having. I'm kind of nervous. Maybe I shouldn't drink this. Cheers. All right, the taste isn't as good as the nose, but it's still delicious. Yeah, so the taste is giving you the Russian Imperial Stout vibes that I wouldn't say it's lacking in the nose. In the nose, it was just the vanilla was so just in your face and intense that I think the base Russian Imperial Stout kind of got lost a little bit, but totally on the taste, it's there. Body on this one's like higher side of medium, lower side of full, so almost 10%. I think it might be a little thin. At 10%, I want a big viscosity to it, and it's not thick and syrupy like some of their other beers were. A little bit thin. The mouthfeel, it's soft, it's smooth, slightly creamy, has a little bit more carbonation. Again, I think the Russian Imperial Stout base in this is you're tasting it more in the taste as opposed to the aroma where it was just dominated by the vanilla. And I think the body and mouthfeel are representing the Russian Imperial Stout to a T. Maybe a little bit thin, but it's good. So taste, vanilla right at the forefront. There is an omnipresent, I was drinking it from this, I always want to show you guys the beer, so I usually drink, but from the, like I said, not even close to being drunk, but I'm acting like it. I don't know why anyone watches me, I really don't. I wouldn't watch me. Anyway, vanilla is omnipresent on the palate. Like it hits you at the forefront, it carries on through. It never steps in the way though. I feel like it's like a blanket of vanilla that's always there, but it's never the predominant note. Right at the front of the tongue though, tons of roasted, almost burnt type of roasted malt character, almost coffee-esque. Not quite ashy, but approaching that. There's a lot of bitter and dark chocolate too at the forefront. Passes through the palate though, I'm hit with like really nice, almost like dried dark fruits, like a dried cherry. There's a dried plum, something in that realm. As it carries on, the chocolate turns to a sweeter chocolate on the finish. But then I'm also hit with a semi-dry finish, a mild to approaching moderate bitterness. And there's also this like earthy kind of hop character too on the back of the palate. I feel because this is almost 3 months old, that hop character died out a little bit, but there's remnants of that hop character on the back of the palate. There's also the cherry kind of transitions into more of like a sweeter dark cherry as opposed to like the dried dark cherry I was getting in the middle of the palate. It hides the alcohol beautifully well. I mean, I can tell it's a bigger beer. There's a little bit of warming into the chest and the stomach, but nothing on the palate. So at almost 10%, at 9.9%, it's drinking extremely well. Like it's really nice. The vanilla ice cream vibes I was getting in the nose really didn't translate in the taste. I don't think it's that sweet. Like I think it's pretty sweet up front, but I think there's enough dryness, enough bitterness, and enough of that like hop characteristic on the back of the palate to stop it from giving me those type of vibes on the back of the palate. Like I think if those weren't there, the ice cream would be appropriate as far as like a tasting note, saying it's like vanilla bean and cherry ice cream, more so than chocolate, I think. What I like about it is in the taste, I think the Russian Imperial Stout shows more than in the nose, which is nice. This is not just like an adjunct heavy type of beer where you do get the vanilla beans and they're totally omnipresent in the taste. They were big in the nose, but you get enough of the base in the taste to say, okay, this is a Russian Imperial Stout with vanilla beans, more so than a vanilla bean Russian Imperial Stout, if that makes any sense. Like I feel like that you get the base more so than the actual adjuncts in the taste. Yeah, it's just really good. I'm just trying to think off the top of my head, like, where do I want to rate this? Because I think it's really good. I don't think it's as good as the Double Shot Cold Brew. It's not as good as the Fudge, and it's definitely not as good as the Quad Shot Peanut Butter Coconut. But I have no problems giving a Vanilla Bean Space and Time from Tree House we'll go high 4.25 out of 5. I'm going to go 4.3 out of 5. I think that's a fair score. I can't go much higher than that. This doesn't have, the impactfulness those beers did, but it's still really well made and really good. Price point on this one and availability. Price point, $7.30 a can, which, I'm starting to think, $7.30 a can, if you translate that into a 4-pack, they probably would be like $28 a 4-pack because, they usually charge a little bit more on a can. In general, I'm not talking about Treehouse specifically, but just in general. $28 a 4-pack, people would look at that and be like, that's crazy expensive, myself included. But it's a 16-ounce can. Picture yourself buying this in a bomber, 22 ounces, 6 more ounces at 10 to 12 bucks. I don't think anyone would bat an eye. Like they wouldn't. Like they totally, I feel like if I saw this for $9.99 or $10.99 for a 22 ounce bomber, I'd be like, oh yeah, I'd totally buy that. But per ounce, it's the same thing in this can. You're just getting less in a can, and it's $7.30 a can. So I think like, I always said bombers were a ripoff, but if this was in a bomber for 11 bucks, I would have totally bought it and not thought twice about the price point. Where I'm drinking here, I'm like $7.30 a can. That's kind of expensive. I don't know. I think the price point is fine for almost 10% vanilla bean Russian Imperial Stout. I think it's fine. Availability. Tree House. You got to go to one of their locations in Massachusetts or their location in Connecticut and buy it. I don't know if they'll release this one again. I don't know if they do other variants. If anybody out there knows, let me know. But I think it's a pretty damn good variant of Space and Time, especially if what I'm getting from the base beer here is just as good in the base Space and Time. I think that'd be a great Russian Imperial Stout. I will read the last 2 paragraphs and we will close this out. Amid a world of sweetness, vanilla bean Space and Time rebels putting forth potent flavors of white chocolate. I could see that from like the vanilla and dark chocolate kind of mixed together. Marbled chocolate vanilla cookies. Clearly Treehouse, whoever's doing these, their palates are immaculate and like top tiers because chocolate. Marbled chocolate vanilla cookies. Okay. Roasted malts, yes, and a firm bitterness that entices your next sip. Sure. So the last 2, sure. White chocolate, I see, but marbled chocolate vanilla cookies. I would have never thought in a million years to say that, but that's why I'm a terrible beer tuber, as we already stated. With this beverage in your glass, you will have the perfect companion to reflect upon the inexorable march of time. Be well. Well, I am very well. Not as well as I once was because I had a whole fridge of Treehouse and I no longer have it, but dems the breaks. So once again, if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. If you've had anything in the Space and Time series, whether it's the base beer, whether they did another variant, let me know what you think about it. I think this is really good. I think I'm drinking at the appropriate temperature too, because I brought it out of the fridge and it was almost an hour. And I want to say right now, this is probably like 55 to 60 degrees. It's drinking extremely well. I love it. It opened up so much too, as I kept on drinking on different flavors. Just a fun beer. So appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol, even though there's no more Treehouse in my fridge, aside from the barrel-aged blended beers. We have more beer to drink, and we will. Till the next one. Cheers.